Hello, beautiful friends. If you are watching this, I'm on vacation, but I pre-recorded it. My name is Lauren Hutton. This is Kainos in the New Energy Era. I'm an Ascended Master who returned to Earth just to be here for the age of Aquarius and everything that's unfolding so beautifully and so perfectly on Earth. I work with masters like Saint Germain, Morya, Katumi, who's taking a little break. I'll tell you about that later. Yeshua, Mary Magdalene, Dual is going to come in. I've got a lot of messages from him. I'm just a little behind. This job is hard, and it takes its toll on my body. We're in Canada. We recorded 9 channels in 2 days, and I just finished with 2 people today the master's program. So I want to congratulate everybody who participated in the master's program. Watching your growth over the last 6 months or so has been incredible. Each and every one of you. Thank you so much. These are lavender roses. They're my birthday flowers. My birthday is November 27th, Thanksgiving Day this year. I was born on Thanksgiving Day. And this message I'm calling Dance for You. This is a dance for the donors. So I've been teaching a really long time, almost 12 years. New Energy Creator will be 10 years old in February. And we have a lot of people who've been with us since the beginning. And as more and more people come in, I'm having to go back and bring up topics that they already know. So this one's just for you, beings who have been here for 10 years. If you've been on this, in this expression experience of enlightenment, the light body, all this stuff for a while, it'll probably make sense to you too. But when I'm recording this, I'm tapping into the donors, the people who have supported us from day one. And this is my thank you video, because this is like the best news I've ever got. I'm really weepy because it's just so beautiful. And of note, my toenail polish matches the roses. I did not do that on purpose. So, wow. I don't know if you can smell them through the screen, but my birthday roses, lavender roses, have a special meaning to me. So do these flowers and who they came from. So I know we're in the middle of the new light wave influx 2.0. We went through the first one, March to July, August this year, and it was all about the nervous system. And this one started end of October, beginning of November. It's really going, wow, it's like here. I don't know if you can feel it. I certainly can. And we're really focused on moving beyond the identity. The reason Morya and I chose moving beyond the identity is because identity is the greatest barrier to love. Where we're going to end up at the end of this new light wave that will finish in April is we will be in our European tour that we do every year. And we'll be finishing in France, and that's all about the love piece. Not what humans think is love, but Yeshua, Mary Magdalene kind of love. So I want to, this is in this dance with the donors, I want to show you what we're going to be doing in May. Now, the France event was sold out, but one person had to modify their reservation. So now we have another space open, 1 space left. Is it yours? No pressure. Come, don't come. You know, that's kind of where I'm at. So for the donors, and I did send out a little article on this in the newsletter. If you'd like to be on the newsletter, just go to our website. It's in the description of the YouTube page, and you can subscribe for free. I give very freely, and donors and those who sign up for our events keep this whole thing financially healthy. So thank you. This channel is for you. No watered down anything. No dumb questions. Yeah, this is also dedicated to the people who finished the master's program. It wasn't easy. It was not easy on my body. It was not easy on you, but we did it. Really good. So this is a tale of two love realities. And this is something that St. G and Morya have been showing to me through image and sensation. So my job is to put words to it. And sometimes I nail it, and sometimes it takes me a bit. So I'm still working that out. So let's test it out. Let's test it out. This is very much, I'm calling it a tale of two love realities. And this is very much a love wins kind of story, but the new energy version, right? The new energy version for the new energy era. And this is really related to the split that's occurring between New Earth and Old Earth. So let me give it a try. So the duality story of love, right? If you're not whole, like the way it works on Earth is you're not whole, so you seek a partner, a love relationship, a family relationship, or a friendship where the other person fills in the holes of your inadequacy. And that person is looking to fill in the holes of their inadequacy. And if that matches up, then you end up in a partnership of some kind, whether it be marriage, mother-daughter, business, otherwise, right? You're looking to fill a hole, right? New energy love, you're a hole and the other person is a hole. It's just to give us like a baseline of what we're talking about. So the duality story of love is the two fish in the Piscean age symbol. You have one fish swimming this way and the other swimming this way. That's what love is. It had to be between two people who were missing parts and putting it together. It also, love was a battle, something you had to fight for. It's Yeshua flipping over the money changing table saying, there's no love in this synagogue because you're taking money from poor people to absolve them of their sins to fatten your pockets kind of thing. And you can still see that playing out on Earth in the old Earth reality, the haves and the have-nots, the battle for good and bad. You know, the questions that come up like, will technology be a bad place or a good place? And, right? So we're moving beyond the duality. So the duality story of love, the two fish and the Piscean age, is that love has to be won, conquered, fought for, and at the end of the battle, if you won, you got it. If you didn't get it at the end of the battle, you lost, right? So love was all about duality, love. Right? Not that kind of love. That's not what we want. And this has been this way through eons of time. I've talked about it a lot, but this comes from the Star Wars, from Leaving Oneness. Go back and watch the July video that someone just shared, and it got a lot of views. Some people making fun of it, and some people are like, thank you so much. You know, it's such a strange story. You're going to make fun of somebody who's being pure of heart? Wow, dude. I hate to see what your interior life looks like if you want to make fun of purity. My God. Anyhow, on to beyond the Piscean age love. So this is the duality story of love, that love has to be won, conquered, and fought for, as it has throughout eons and eons of time prior to Earth ever being created. And that will continue to be the case for many. The majority, right, who continue to choose to remain in the Maya of relative reality. The reason love has to be a battle that has to be won, fought for, is because of the relative reality, right? I'm an individual I in a collective consciousness reality was created by the Atlantean headband, right? And we're still in that mind, whatever, but it's loosening up. The mind is changing. St. G says, thank fuck. So there's also like all of these belief systems that are in the duality, right? I see this a lot, like just scrolling through a Facebook feed from spiritual people. They think that money corrupts. Money's bad, money's wrong. And that the goodness in people cannot be maintained through financial wealth. Wow, imagine if the people who had wealth and power knew their own goodness. What would that look like? Shambra, still money's bad. I can smell it. It smells bad, right? So moving beyond this duality, right? Yeshua was hung on a cross for his love in the Piscean age, and he shows me in the Aquarian age, he's on his private jet, wearing his Gucci suit, drinking his scotch, because the battle's over. The battle's been won. And that will be in this new earth reality. And I'm calling it the love is a given reality. Hear me out. So I'm not a heavy type of karma person. Karma's gonna get you, you'll be punished. I'm not a punishing person. I don't ever like to see that. That is not who I am, right? But I do know for sure that if you're dealing with finite energy, relative reality, right? Matter-based reality, classic earth reality is a finite energy source where people have to fight over a limited resource pie. There's only so much oil in the ground. There's only so much money in the banks, and everybody has to fight over it and exploit people to get it, right? So in this finite energy source, karma exists, right? It exists because while energy, the universe, God, the whole thing, whatever you want to call it, it's not punishing, but it rebalances on the quick, right? So I do know for sure that energy balances itself out continuously in duality, in relativity, in Maya, whatever word you want to use, because it must to keep functioning. It has to rebalance to keep functioning. For example, if you take from others, others will take from you. We've all done it. We've all experienced it. Most of us learned our lesson pretty quick. It's very neutral. It's not punishing at all. And I really hate to see when people overtake from me. I give at levels that put me in the hospital. I'm trying to work my way back to not doing that and having some boundaries, which is why I'm going on this trip for some fun, human fun. I used to not do that. I'm doing that now. I'm Yeshua on the private jet. He's like, Sarah, you don't have to work so hard and put yourself on a cross anymore. We're in the age of Aquarius. Get on your private jet. Let's go. I'll post some photos after the fact. That's another thing I'm doing. Everything is after the fact. I don't say what I'm doing in real time because there's so many monitoring spirits. The bigger this gets, the more YouTube subscribers there are, the more people watch the videos, the more they want to squash purity. I don't share what's going on in my personal life in real time anymore because no, you don't get that. I'm already giving enough. So if you take from others, others will take from you, right? If you give to others, others will give to you in this relative reality. It's very neutral. It's not punishing. It's just the way duality or finite energy works. Yet I see those who remain in this two-fish thinking, the Piscean age thinking, two fish, one going this way, one going that way. Good, bad, right, wrong. Satan's saint, sinner, saint, and on. But what's happening in this relative reality, in classic earth reality, if you're staying there, right, it's a choice. For those who are staying there, this rebalance is going to become even more intense and happen almost instantly rather than the delay of a lifetime or two. So the whole point of enlightenment was to end the reincarnation cycle. You had lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, climbing a ladder, finally getting to your last lifetime and having enlightenment and then leaving. In the Aquarian age, that ladder disappears. The near-earth realms, where people go when they are in between human lifetimes, that's all being shaken up, dissolving out. Enlightenment is kind of a moot point because you're not trying to get off planet Earth and go anywhere. In this new Earth reality that I'm about to introduce, you don't need to do that. You're everywhere you want to be, anywhere you want to be without having to die or be reborn. That's the purpose of one of the purposes of the light body. So this rebalance will become even more intense, and because there's no longer this classic idea of lifetime cycles where you are good in this one, you get rewarded in the next life. I mean, it's kind of cartoon, but it's basically how it worked. So instead of it happening in the next lifetime, it'll happen in this one almost instantly. 6 months instead of 6 lifetime cycles later, right? So that's going to be really interesting for those who choose to stay in classic Earth reality. Those who choose to cling to their identity, right? We've been talking about going beyond the identity. This is so necessary to be in the sentience piece we're going to talk about, to be in the light body expression we're going to talk about, and most importantly, to be love. That will give you the access to this new Earth reality. It's happening on the same rock. There's not one planet out there that's forming. These are two different reality overlays over the same rock called Earth, Terra, Gaia. Gaia's gone, but the rock that we're on. We're sitting on a rock, and then there's a holographic projection on top of it. So there's been a holographic projection on top of this rock called classic Earth, and now there's we, you, me, beings like us are creating another overlay, same rock, different reality, which would be Yeshua's the kingdom is coming. Well, the kingdom was coming, now the kingdom is here. And that is creating an apocalyptic type of experience for those focusing and staying in classic Earth relative reality. It's a reckoning is occurring there. People who refuse to admit love is real, for people clinging to their identity. It even happens with realized beings who don't want to let go of it. I'll talk more about that in a second. I had a really strong experience with that. So this rebalance will become even more intense and happen almost instantly rather than in the time delay of a lifetime, or 2 or 3 or 4, 6. Like you won't work out karma from this life and the next one. It will happen swiftly, fiercely, and unapologetically in this one. I keep hearing John Lennon and Yoko Ono's song, Instant Karma. Instant Karma is going to get you. It's a good song. Look it up. Again, this is not to punish. I don't have that. I hope you don't either. It's not about punishing anybody, but to balance out the pot of finite energy. This becomes especially clear in any kind of assault on those pure of heart, people who don't want to fight back, people who can see the bigger picture and take the high road. For the pure of heart energy has been what has kept this planet from imploding over billions and billions of years. I'm not talking about be a good girl energy, or be a good boy energy, or do the right thing, or be responsible, not that kind of energy. But it's about those who know their goodness. That's not about right and wrong. Their goodness, which is your wholeness, including the shadows and the light. You embrace all parts and pieces of yourself. We go really deep into this in the Kelowna files that are on the website. So poking or chipping away at someone's goodness, we've all done it or had it done to us. Both, probably. Will set this new dynamic off like lightning. So that's what's happening in classic Earth reality. Boo. What's happening in New Earth, in the new energy era reality, yep, they're breaking apart. They're overlaid on top of each other right now. I'm kind of doing a back and forth myself, but they're about to pull apart. And these new light wave influxes are creating the earthquakes that pull them apart. You are creating this new reality. When people ask me questions about this new reality, like I'm an authority figure on it, I remind them that they are an authority figure on it. Whatever you spend your time, energy, focus, and awareness on is what will be in this new reality. You are creating it. Faye, you did an excellent job. You're in a short. I hope you don't mind. You are creating it. I have her voice on one of the shorts because she got it. She got it when we were in Canada. Thank you, Faye. Hope I'm not embarrassing you. Thank you. So for those moving into the new energy era and simultaneously creating it by doing so, will be in the reality of love. And I'm not talking about human love. I am talking about new energy, Christos consciousness love, which Yeshua and Mary Magdalene were trying to show us. In this reality, love just exists. It's a given. It doesn't need to be fought for, proven, conquered, battled for, or even cultivated. It's just an ever abundant, infinite resource, a given. So in this infinite resource reality, we don't have to fight for love. And that also means that because we don't have to fight over limited energy, finite energy, karma doesn't exist anymore. You can throw enlightenment out the door. You're already there. You were never not there. And we don't need enlightenment to get out of the reincarnation cycle anymore, right? So we're focusing on love, on being the light body, which it's not about being light, all love and light. It's really about the only way to be love and create an infinite energy source is to address all of the shadow, darkness, whatever inside of you. Right? So you move beyond identity. That's the theme of our new light wave. This is really complex and advanced materials for the donors. I am dancing with you, donors. Thank you. So stepping into the dark matter, placing your awareness on the dark matter expands out the edges of creation, creating this infinite energy source called new energy, called love, called Christos consciousness. It's a lot to get out. So basically, it's two different realities or overlays over the same old rock called Earth. But these realities will start to be pulling apart. And the earthquake, the force, the no force force, with no force ferocity, how about that? St. G's like, how about that? With no force ferocity, these two realities will be breaking apart into a new earth. The kingdom is coming to the kingdom is here, and the old earth reality. I'm experiencing this as a break from my family completely. They're strangers. They live in a different reality. I do not talk to them. I'm not saying you should do that. I'm just saying that's how palpable this is for me. And I'm not mad at it. I have no feeling towards it. I have no guilt. It's like someone took the sharpest knife and it was the cleanest cut and it was gone. Wow. So as St. G and Morya and Yeshua and Mary Magdalene have been showing this to me, and I've been creating it with them, and I hope you're creating it with us, because I'm not an authority, neither are them. There is no hierarchy in the new energy era. There's no hierarchy. So you don't get to look to someone and yell at them anymore. You have to do the work because you're creating it. It's a huge responsibility. It's also freedom. You bitch so much about being a student, you're not a student anymore. So now you get to see what it's like to do the fucking work instead of sit in the audience. Welcome to my world. Oh, I'm glad I got a laugh in, because when I started this, I was about to start crying. I will later. Just give me a minute. So as they've been showing this to me, I've been creating it with them. I find myself in the love is a given reality 2 to 3 days, and then I'll have 1 day back in relative reality where I feel like flipping over money, changing tables. Yeshua fighting for the truth kind of feeling. And I notice, like, when I wake up in the morning, I do it with such curiosity. I'm not like, oh, I hope I'm in one or the other. Or, oh, shit, I'm back in the other one. No, it's like, okay, which one am I in? I'm like a little kid on Christmas morning, like, what present am I going to unwrap? Because there's so much information in each one. But I found that the ones where I'm in the new earth, new energy reality, where the New Alexandria Library exists, by the way, it's a real place. It exists in that reality. I don't even know if I need to put it in the technology. It's there. We're going there. It's an actual building. If you go to our website, I have pictures of the building on the website of what it looks like. It's in the new earth reality. I'm there. So I noticed that the quality of light is different. It's more golden, almost saffron in color when I'm in the other one, and then it's regular light in the relative reality when I'm back in it. So I'm kind of going back and forth between the two. I don't pick, I don't have a preference, because masters don't have a preference on that kind of stuff. They dance with what comes to their door. As Tobias used to tell us, dance with what comes to your door. Which one am I going to dance with today? Every day's like unwrapping a gift. What's going to happen today? I never have just another day. Every day to me is a lifetime. Like I wake up in the morning like, how am I going to spend this whole beautiful lifetime of one day? I don't have just another day. Someone told me that, like, don't you ever have just another day? I'm like, no, do you? That sounds awful. Do something about that. I see this oscillation from one to the other. Waking up on Christmas morning, which present am I going to unwrap, as a way for me to learn how to describe it to you, and also a way for my body to be able to handle it. It's a lot to be in that new energy reality for 2-3 days. Then my nervous system is a little fried. And yeah, and then the parts that are inside of me that don't match that love, I wake up in the relative reality of this classic earth and I have to heal a few things. Healing is not a one and done thing. It's an ongoing process. There are no, energetic maturity is realizing there's no arrival points. There's no finish line. That was a creation of the Atlantean design mind that only operates in local linear. It's changing. So the sentience piece we cover in the Kelowna files, and we'll cover it more here, is very key to all this, because when you're in this sentience piece, and now advanced student St. G has been working through me with and I'm there too, with an advanced student who just finished the master's program. And I said, after all this work, right, can you define sentience? And she said, no, but I could give you, 20,000 examples, right? So what she and I are doing are keeping sentience journals and writing down all these sentience examples. I have a ton of examples. She has a ton of examples. We still don't have a definition because it's not something you can define. It's something you feel. But the best way I can talk about it is a capacity for sensation, not emotion, not human feelings, but a capacity for, I don't know, I guess you could call it angelic senses, but it's not even angelic, it's human, and it is full blown. And some of the things you see are disturbing because you can see everything. And relative reality starts to look, and you're not judging it, but it starts to look really dirty and dingy. Even being in a fancy restaurant, even being on a first-class flight, you start to realize that relative reality is quite janky. I want to say it's ghetto, right? You're not judging it, but you just start to see the jankiness of relative reality in comparison to the crystalline purity nature of this new energy reality, this new earth reality, the kingdom is here reality, which is not janky or ghetto or old or created by an Atlantean headband. You have to laugh. It took us quite a long time to get here. I can't believe I looked this good after that many lifetimes. I'm a little under the weather and I've dropped 5 pounds overnight. So this is the last channel for a bit. And then I'll rely on my archives to get out until I am 100%. Oh, these roses sure help, God. So sentience, as my capacity deepens for it, I've received X-ray vision into my life and those around me. I've always been psychic, intuitive, and all the silly jazz, right? This even surpasses Gnost in ways. Gnost, someone asked me what that was. Gnost, knowingness. I can't go into it here. This is for the advanced people. I will do a basics on Gnost video next and another time. I have a list of 300 videos I need to get done, so I'll put that at 301. Send a donation. It usually helps get your video out faster. It does. It's not about me like trying to accumulate money, but the energy you send through that heart donation lights a fire under my ass. The people sending the donations right now, this is what they want to talk about. So we'll get there. It really does help your cause. but not in the creepy way, I promise. So it's like X-ray vision, but sentient in your body. Like you can feel it. You can see everything. You can see all the layers of, everything is love and relative reality. There's just 7,000 layers of distortion over it. Even the parent who beat you, I still feel like I have a doorknob in my back from being thrown into a door by my own dad. Those things don't go away. They imprint in your body. I still feel like I have a doorknob imprint in my back. Even that was love, right? But it had all these layers of distortion over the top of it. I've always been able to see through the distortion and move beyond it. But this sentience piece is like, instead of being able to see it, forgive it, like the Yeshua, forgive them for they know not what they do. That was kind of my mode of operation. Every time I got hit, slapped, thrown into a door, abused by a husband, a boyfriend, psychologically, physically, whatever. You guys think I've had like a princess life. I'm a princess because I declared myself the fucking princess after being maimed. If I'm a little sick and my sense of humor is a little sick, it's because I have survived things that most of you can't fucking fathom, right? So don't place your garbage on me like, her life's been so easy. I got this way through blood, sweat, tears, grit, audacity, and growing a pair. I never wanted to grow a pair of balls. I wanted a masculine to take care of me. I did not want to grow a pair of balls, but turns out there's a lot of people with big dick energy and nothing to back it up with. So here I am, bringing it out myself. I know that sounds a little rough, but it's the honest to God truth. I'm still able to be a little feminine. I mean, I never wanted to have to grow a pair, ever. I was hoping someone else would take care of that for me. Maybe there's still a chance. There's still a chance. Somebody with the backup of that kind of energy. Definitely. They exist. Have you seen my flowers? So as you get this kind of information, seeing the levels of distortion in the people around you, in yourself, right? In your wounds, in all of this, it's going to require that capacity piece to be able to stretch. If you don't have a deep connection to God consciousness or I am consciousness or spirit or whatever you feel comfortable calling it, I prefer God. If someone asks me what my method of operation and my passion is in this life, it would be a story of a woman who was never loved properly by humans. Thank God, because that pushed me every time I got pushed, hit, abused, tortured in school, all of it. It pushed me closer to God. And I have such a deep connection to God because I was not being loved by anybody else. It was a huge gift. And I would, when I'm in my fullness, the only story that's allowed in my body of consciousness, in this body, this is how I cleared most of my trauma. I still have things pop up. My story is, once upon a time, there was a girl who met God and was so blown away at the love she experienced that all she wanted to do was spend the rest of her life singing His graces. I know that sounds a little churchy, but that is my truth. And anything that's not that cannot live in my biology or my body of consciousness. When I say that, it's my own. You make up your own. I'm not giving you something to do. That's my own unique expression. Then I spend a few days in bed letting everything that's not that get out, because I've had some stuff. So no, I was not handed a silver platter coming out of the womb. You think an ascended master comes to earth and everybody loves them. Tobias has had to take his own parents to court. People do not like, people in relative reality in the Atlantean design mind don't like things they can't understand. And when they can't understand something, they want to destroy it. Ask Yeshua, ask Tobias, ask me, ask anybody who was born with this kind of light. So, sentience, as my capacity deepens for it, I've received X-ray vision into my life and those around me. I've always been psychic and intuitive and all that silly jazz, but this is like being given a full blueprint record of everyone and everything in my life. The capacity piece is so key here. Do you have the capacity to handle that much truth? Knowing your mother never loved you and being okay with that, right? So I'm going to talk about, real quick, being detached, right? Most people think being detached is being cold, you're going to lose your warmth. No, being detached is being fully in your sensitivity, in your softness, but also knowing everything's going to be okay. So even when someone's throwing you into a door, even when someone's trying to steal your light or pick your pocket on your worst day, energetically, you know everything's going to be okay because God's got your back. That's where the detachment comes in. You don't lose your warmth by being detached. Do you have the capacity to handle that much truth and not use it for anything other than information for yourself? Are you goodness? Not right or wrong, good or bad, but are you goodness, your uniqueness? What's your goodness? Are you goodness so much you wouldn't use it for nefarious things, taking you right back into the instant karma cesspool, where most people will be living, instant karma cesspool. That's why I'm wanting to pull your identity from your clenched fist, because you don't want to be in the instant karma cesspool of classic earth reality when these two things split. I'm not fucking around, right? It's time, right? You had 1,000 lifetimes in the Piscean era to prepare for it. So I have a lot more to come on this, but I wanted to add one more thing. You know, love is having the power to destroy someone, because you have this all-knowing vision. With God in my life, I have this all-knowing vision, and I'm like, God, can I flip a table over? And he's like, no, not right now. I use he, but it's it, whatever. That. I am that. Let's call it that. But for the sake of story, he. So I'll say, God, can I flip a table over? I really know how to get under this person's skin. And they were so awful to me. And he's like, not yet. Not yet. I'll tell you when you can do it. You know, to me, God is not external. It's internal. I'm Indian like that. So I think a lot of people in the West, when I say God, think I'm like talking about an external. But despite the blonde hair and tiny white body, I am Indian inside, where they would never think God's external. What are you talking about, an external God? They have no idea. Yeah. So love is having the power to destroy someone, but choosing not to. So I know you guys think that I have like a super charmed life, and I do. And it's because I choose to focus my awareness on abundance, on the flower, on riding my horse. I just got a new one yesterday. I'm recording this, pre-recording this. I just got a new one yesterday. If you go look, I was riding my other horse that I had before, and the horse told me, I'm too tired for you, Lauren. I'm old and you need a new horse. So I told my trainer, I said, the horse just told me that, you know, because he is used to kids and he's old, you know. He was born when it was the USSR. And I told her, I said, I think I need a new horse. She's like, yeah, you probably do. You're kind of outgrowing him. You're progressing so quickly in your training. You're going to need a younger horse who can jump higher and has more energy and stamina and no arthritis. And I walked into the stables yesterday, and she's like, "He's here. Your horse arrived." I could go on about that, but I share a lot of the good things that happen in my life. But when I'm going through trials and tribulations, which I have, I don't share them here because we get creeps, we get monitoring spirits, we get nasty people in the comments, and that energy really impacts me. So I don't share things until they're over, until they're a done deal. But I do have to go through some things. I spent the last week in bed healing. I had an experience in the recent past where someone came into my life, and I guess I don't really know what it was, but they seemed so clear and pure, and then something flipped, like possessed by a demon, and I was the dumbest, most idiotic, awful person. What I share here is dumb. Anybody who listens is dumb. I'm lazy. I mean, someone I really let into my life, and it brought me so much clarity on who I am and what I'm here to do. A master wastes nothing. Every time I got thrown into a doorknob when I was growing up, I developed this relationship to God. I would not be who I am if all of these things hadn't happened to me to crack me open, right? If I hadn't have been in that marriage that almost tore me apart, if I hadn't worked in ego land of famous athlete, politician, egomania land, I would not be who I am without those experiences. That's this classic earth reality and how we had to do it. I'm still healing from it. Still trying to understand how someone with so much capacity for love, truth, light, realization, like with someone with that level of consciousness, could come in and into my life and hack me open like that. But as they were hacking me open, I was like, I am going to use this. I'm going to use this to find a deeper place in myself to share from. And since this happened and I've done that, it's not a numbers game for me. I don't want to be popular. I don't want anything that comes with that. I don't want attention. I'm doing this for beings like us, out of a deep, deep space of like, we can do this. We can get this done. It's happening. Other places, I never wanted to do the stage thing. Everywhere I went, one that you guys know of being the worst was an energetic cesspool of fighting and grossness and karmic garbage from Atlantis and karmic garbage from the time of Yeshua. And I was like, I have got to create something as an alternative to this, right? But since going through this really heart-wrenching, and keeping my love and not doing the low blows, knowing how to destroy the person who's destroying me and choosing not to, is how I found this new voice. And all of these new people who have showed up here. Hi, I'm Lauren. I'm intense. I don't perform for you. This is not CC. This is not some big corporation. I am a human being. Treat me like one or reap the wrath of rebalance. I'm not fucking around. But as all this was happening, it's like, I know how to destroy someone. I have all the information. It's not like I don't see things. I just choose not to act on them. I often choose not to act on them in all areas of my life to give a person a chance to correct it, right? It's not that I'm an idiot. People think that kind and innocent people are dumb. We're not dumb. We can see the whole freaking thing. We're just giving you a space. We're not the idiots here, right? Nice guys don't finish last, right? You can see everything, and you choose to give a person a chance before they create the situation where it all blows back on them. You're not lifting a finger, and you actually don't want them hurt. So in all of this, I found a deeper way to connect to my voice. But in the meantime, it's brought up a lot in my physical body. And I've had to spend a lot of time clearing that out. But that's a gift. Because in clearing that out, as I've been clearing it out, the more I clear out of that stored trauma in the body, creative neutrality, not blaming. I don't do the mind games where it's like, it's their fault, they need to be dead. I know it doesn't happen up here, right? Like someone told me, what about going to therapy? And it's like, I'm not opposed to therapy, but it's not happening up here. I can't talk this out. It's a metaphysical experience that's happening from the neck down. But every time I clear this trauma out of my body, and this person gave me a huge gift, the one who stuck their elbow in me and told me I'd never amount to anything and I was dumb and this is a failure. Yeah, I mean, this place is blowing up. It's not a failure. Welcome, new people. But you use that. You know, a master wastes nothing. But as I've been clearing this trauma out of my body, my access to sentience and this new earth reality that's being ushered in through these new light wave influxes has been exponentially illuminated. And once you see the kingdom in physical fucking form, right? It's like, oh, all that other stuff that happened in the past doesn't matter anymore. It got me where I'm going. I'm here. This is not even really, I mean, a person acted this out, but it's not really a person. It's Maya itself. The devil in the Bible, Yogananda talks a lot about this in the second coming of Christ. The devil in the Bible is just a representation of Maya, of finite energy, of the energy where you're all fighting over the same pie, and there's only so much pie, right? So you need to get your slice, right? The devil is just a mythological alchemical symbol for Maya, duality, finite energy, saying, don't you want to come back into this finite energy and fight, right? Don't you want to, if you were real, that's what the devil, when he goes to meet Yeshua in the desert, he says, if you were really the Son of God, you would produce a loaf of bread to eat, because he'd been fasting in the desert. If you were really who you say you are, it sounds like a realized Shamar being, if you were really realized, you wouldn't have these problems, right? And Yeshua was like, be gone. I've lived without bread and I've lived without water. So it's like when people do things to me, when they write in the comments, this person was like physically in my life, you know, it's like I've lived without bread and water. I walk out of this desert every time. I also talk about it as the phoenix. I did that on all of our social media channels and the post in the YouTube channel written page, the post page about the phoenix, right? I've lived without bread and water. I've died and been reborn 100 times. What could you possibly do to me? So, yeah. So just in case you thought I was like some crowned princess who's not down in the trenches here with you, I'm not. I just don't let it mess with me. I don't let my mind go into story looping land. You get up, pull up your pants. Mine are really loose right now because I've dropped a ton of weight. Dust it all off. Pack your suitcase. Book your first class seat. Hopefully that's a private jet soon. Not hopefully, it will be. And brush that dust off your shoulders. Tell yourself you've got 99 problems and a bitch ain't one. And you go on vacation. It requires a certain level of madness. It requires being able to go without bread and water for 40 days and 40 nights in the desert, because God's got your back, right? But in developing this sentience piece and cultivating your light body expression experience, we're about to enter the love as a given reality. And all these people who are still playing games in duality with their identity, if you were really realized, you would do this. Or Yeshua, like, hey, Jesus, if you are the Son of God, if you are who you say you are, you'd produce a loaf of bread. He's like, get the fuck out of my face, right? That's where we're at. But we're never going to have to deal with that again, because the kingdom was coming and now the kingdom's here. That's enough for today. If I don't respond to your comments right away, I will when I get back in December, first week of December. I need some time off. I need to heal the wounds and have some human fun and stop and smell the roses. They match my toenails. Isn't that funny? That was not on purpose. Yeah, I love them. All right, guys, I'm so much love with you. This was really deep message, and it's not for everybody. You'll know if it was for you, I guess. I'm dancing with the donors here. If you have a specific thing that you want me to cover to fill in the hole and you're sincere, someone sincerely asked me about Nos the other day. They weren't making fun of something. I will do just because you were so sincere, I'm going to do a whole video just on the basics of Nos, just for you. Sincere question asker. Yeah. Thank you to everyone who is keeping this place afloat and for supporting me physically, energetically, to keep his body cracking, because oh my God, when I get in these spaces and bring this in and sit with you all and feel all the energy of 1,000 people watching, woo, I will never not be vulnerable. If you're not vulnerable, you are as good as dead in this new reality. If you are not authentic, you are as good as dead in this new reality. If you want to cling to your identity, you will be stuck in this relative reality, old earth, dualistic, instant karma cesspool when these two break apart completely. Enjoy the back and forth while it's happening. It's a super sensual thing to be in it one day, 2 days, 3 days, and then back in the other one. Don't think about it as like, oh, I was there and then I lost it. That's what the devil in the desert wants you to think, that you're thirsty. You're not thirsty. Be sensual. You've lived without bread and water before. You can do it again, right? Use those back and forth moments to collect data, pattern recognition. What do you want to bring in this reality? What do you notice in the other one that you don't want to bring with you into this one? All right, I've said enough. I hope it resonates with the donors. I hope I've been dancing with you. And if you're new here, there's a ton of information in our YouTube videos, and I have 10 years of archives. Sign up for the newsletter, and I'll start sending out some of the archives to the new people if you want to play catch up, if you want to learn our terms. I'm also going to put up the new energy glossary of all the terms we use. That's going to go on the website in December. I'm working on it right now. I actually, when I tell you I'm going to do something, I do it. I'm not like those other places. I've been doing this a long time. And I'm not an influencer that popped out of the woodwork because it was cool. I've been doing this a long fucking time. I've been doing this a long fucking time. This is not my first rodeo. And I was alive and with Yeshua in the whole thing. So I have seen it all. And I could go on and on and on and on and on. Thanks for letting me be with you on my birthday week, even though I'm not physically there and it's recorded in advance. That's for you. That's for you. Oh, God, I love the smell. We got to bring that with us into the new earth.